Cheers everyone. This is going to be my second video, so still kind of a baby channel at this point, but I thought that I would come to you guys and talk about 10 ways that I cope or deal with my anxiety. This was definitely a learning experience throughout my 22 years, stuff that I did when I was in my teens, early preteens may not necessarily work for me right now, but I have come to a conclusion or plan of 10 different things that I've done for a long time that really help ease any stress I'm having or any anxiety that I'm feeling, and I wanted to share those with you guys. Having a creative outlet. Even if you're not a creative person, I think that having an outlet that you can go and do something that applies your mental skills or your artistic abilities or your culinary abilities, painting or coloring or journaling for a artistic or writing standpoint. I had a journal through college. That was really nice to come home to in my room and just kind of write about the day. I did play lacrosse in college, so I was a college athlete for a Division I school, so that was pretty strenuous at times. So to be able to just take a second by myself, sit in my room and kind of just write about how I was feeling, it was another therapeutic way of me getting my feelings out without necessarily having to find someone and talk to them. I know sometimes it's hard to go out and seek therapy. You might not have a connection or you might not know somebody that's in your town. So until you do find someone that you can go talk to, I think this is a great way to get your thoughts out there on pen and paper so you can actually go back to those thoughts and be like, I forgot that happened that day. I'm proud of myself for getting over that. I feel so much better today. Or, I'm having another bad day. This is why. So you can kind of go back, and it's awesome to see that and see how your days varied and how up and down your emotions are. And when you get to go talk to somebody like a therapist or even go talk to your parents or your friends and you feel comfortable sharing your journal with them, it's easier to explain or go back to a certain day and explain how you were feeling. I also think that music has really helped me throughout my life. I absolutely love listening to music. One of my favorite things to do is get in the car and blast the music and just drive around when I'm, just feeling a little bit bored or a little bit down. Like, I love to get in the car. If it's nice out, put the windows down and listen to music. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that I love to share music. I just love the melody of something and I want to share it with other people who have similar music taste. Even just listening to a melody, when you listen to something and you're like, holy, you need to listen to this, like that beat drop. But like, in all seriousness, having a melody that heightens your serotonin levels, I think, is so important. Finding what you actually like and what you actually enjoy. To my boyfriend, I'll be like, oh my God, doesn't this song just make you want to run outside and like do something crazy? That's what I'm talking about. I think music plays an extremely important role in emotions, so that is another idea. Number 2 is educating yourself on anxiety. I'm just gonna go out there and say that I think there's a lot of people that don't truly know what an anxiety disorder is or anxiety is versus having a feeling of being anxious. There's a huge difference between the two, and I think that a lot of people mess this up. I did write an article about this at school that I'll link below if you guys want to check that out, but it was basically explaining that, everybody feels anxious. It's normal to feel nervous. It's normal to have an increased heart rate when you're worrying about something. Worry is another keyword. You're going to the doctor, you have a test, you have a game coming up, you are going on a first date. Obviously, those are normal circumstances where you would feel nervous or worried about that, but what makes anxiety or having an anxiety disorder different from that is that it affects your daily routines and your normal activities. For example, getting up and going to school, going and having lunch with your family friends, going to a sports practice, or sitting down and doing homework. It's when anxiety takes over these normal activities and actually makes you incapable of getting those daily activities done. So I just want to kind of put that out there if you didn't know that, or just make it clear that having anxiety and feeling anxious about something are two completely different things. So like I said, educating yourself on anxiety, reading different articles, even if it's a magazine, a health magazine, just staying up to date on, different natural remedies that you can try if you are feeling anxious or having anxiety about a certain thing, different foods that kind of help combat your heightened emotions and allow you to feel more relaxed. I also like to educate myself on different disorders, not just an anxiety or depressive disorder. I did minor in psychology at school, and one curriculum that I was very interested in was abnormal psych. So even watching documentaries, I watched a couple of documentaries on bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, Munchausen's, and I love watching documentaries, so this was an awesome way for me to watch something that I liked but also be educated on a certain topic. Reading these articles and watching these documentaries actually helped with my everyday life as well, and my anxiety. It helped me try new ways to kind of cope with that, and if you haven't already, I think it's an awesome idea. You learn something new, so why not? Number 3 is exercising. There's a bunch of ways that you can exercise. I was a college athlete, so I was going out and practicing for at least 3 hours every day. I was extremely active, so that was kind of checked off the list every day. I didn't really have to worry about it. But there was also times where I kind of wanted to, stem away from doing something with the team and kind of do something on my own. So when I say exercise, that can be walking, hiking, biking, stretching, yoga, weightlifting, Pilates, bar work, anything that you feel resonates with what your health mantra is and what you're physically capable of doing is perfect. Just making sure that you're getting outside, getting your brain working and stuff like that. Number 4 is meditation. This is something that I wish I did more, honestly. I started doing this in college. I downloaded one of the meditation apps. There's a bunch of them, but I downloaded one of the apps, and I would listen to one of the excerpts or little mini stories before I would go to sleep. And especially on those days where I was more stressed out was when I would use this app, and it would help me sleep better and kind of just like clear my mind of any bad or negative thoughts that I was having. So I think that meditation not only helps with that, but it can help you find yourself. As stupid as that sounds, if you just close your eyes and sit there and kind of listen to what your body has to say, that could make absolutely no sense to anyone, but if you try it, you'll understand what I'm saying. Number 5 is eating clean and healthy foods. I have noticed that when I would not watch what I was eating, I would snack at night, I would eat junk food. I love eating chocolate, candy, ice cream. I'm not saying that you can't ever eat these foods. It's obviously okay to treat yourself to something sweet. I completely believe in comfort eating. One time in particular where I actually just had to say, you know what, I just need to eat what my body needs right now, or what I'm craving right now, I just need to eat it, was when I tore my ACL junior year by playing lacrosse. I had surgery, and one of my friends who tore their ACL as well was like, look, you have to let yourself comfort eat. It's such a mentally draining time that like you just have to do it, and she was so right. But back to clean eating, I think that it's really important to watch what you're eating. I'm not a doctor, and here I am or a nutritionist telling you what to eat, but overall I think it's important to eat foods that you know are going to be beneficial for you. I think that listening to your body and understanding what foods make you feel good and what foods don't make you feel good is extremely important, because when I would junk eat, I would notice that I would feel extremely down on myself. I would feel more anxious. I would feel about like the way that I looked. But when I was putting more time into my meals and putting more thought into it is when I actually started to see my anxiety lessen, and I felt good inside. Not only like what I'm seeing, but inside I felt good. So I think making sure that you're eating clean is important. Number 6 is limiting social media use. I think that we spend way too much time on social media. I'm guilty of it, obviously, because I love going to social media as a creative outlet, but I just spend way too much time scrolling through and viewing other people's stories and reading what other people have to say. And again, part of being on social media is being a listener, but there's just times where I'm just aimlessly scrolling through, and then I look at the clock and 3 hours has gone by, and that's not healthy, because even Instagram is such a popular platform, but it's so oversaturated right now. I would love to make Instagram casual again. I think that it's so hard, especially girls, and I know that this happens with boys too, but I feel like especially young girls, and me being a girl, it's so hard to scroll through social media all day and see what this person's eating or see what kind of clothes this person's wearing, and where are they in the country, where are they on vacation. Like, it's so mentally and emotionally draining to try and keep up with that. Download screen time or put on the screen time thing and kind of tell yourself, I'm gonna limit myself to an hour of screen time a day. Tracking that and seeing how much time you actually spend and limiting the amount of time that you're actually on these platforms, you'll notice yourself start to feel happier, less anxious, less worried about what you look like, less worried about what so-and-so is doing, and have more time to focus on yourself. I've done that in the past, and I've deleted Instagram before, and I went 3 days without my phone one time, which like obviously isn't a long time, but even in those 3 days, like I didn't want to pick up my phone again, and I didn't want to go on social media. So I think wherever you can limit your social media use will be beneficial towards you. Number 7 is cleaning and organizing. This is just simple and pretty self-explanatory. It's easy to let your living area get messy, and I think that as soon as my room starts to get messy, or as soon as my dorm room would start to get messy, like that's when I would just get more frustrated and more stressed and just worrying about, I have homework and practice, oh, now I have to clean my room and the apartment's disgusting and like my room's disgusting. Just making sure that you take something out and put it back, or organize your shelves, or organize your closet. Even just going in, cleaning your closet, organizing your room, even once a month. It's such a big difference in my mindset, and I think that if your life is organized, then your mind will be organized as well, and you won't have to worry about 700 things at one time. This one, taking a hot shower or a bath. This is kind of an instant something that you can go to and do if you're at home. I did that yesterday, actually. Today was kind of a bad day for me, just thinking about work and everything that happened. I was kind of harping on it a lot today. I need to just stand in the shower for 15 minutes. Sorry, Cameron. Sorry, Mom. Sorry, Dad, but
the hot water's mine.
And if you want to take a bath, too, put music on, sit in there, light a candle. If you just take, 15 minutes, taking a hot shower, taking a hot bath, sitting there and just closing your eyes and taking a second to just stop, that is an easy way to just get your mind back on track. Number 9 is drinking a lot of water. This might seem really irrelevant or dumb, but making sure that you're always hydrated is crucial for you not only feeling mentally well, but physically. I definitely don't drink enough water throughout the day, and I notice that I don't when I start to have this like dull headache towards the end of the day. I just think that those days that I have a water bottle and I'm constantly filling it up, not only am I happy and motivated, but I'm more productive as well. Whether that's getting work done, going outside and going for a run, doing the things that you can to help your physical health will also trickle up into your mental health. So those two go hand in hand. Last but not least, talking about it with someone. I know this is not easy for everyone to do, and you might not be at this step yet, but I can't express to you enough. Talking about this has made my anxiety so much easier to maintain and control. In middle school, I was so secretive about it. I would really only talk to my parents about it. I wouldn't talk to any of my friends about it. And that made me feel like I was literally suffocating. Anxiety, I would feel it here in the middle of my chest and my stomach. I think I started being incredibly vocal about it in college, is when, not only would people be understanding of the way that I'm feeling, but they would also come to me and say, when you were feeling this way, I was actually feeling like that the other day, and now I know exactly what you were feeling. And not only does it build a sense of community, but just knowing that, and you don't have to feel like you have to explain yourself. Like, I don't want it to come across that way, that I'm saying you need to explain your anxiety to someone and justify the way you feel. No, it's not that at all. It's basically just saying, look, I want you to know that this is something that I struggle with, and if I ever act a certain way, or I ever feel a certain way, or act towards you a certain way, I just want you to know that it could very well be because I am dealing with something. And the more people that know, the better you're going to feel. I promise you, there's nothing to be ashamed of. Millions of people go through this. Talking about it has made me meet and figure out that a lot of my friends are going through the same thing. Talking about it is so crucial. And if you're not there yet, even if you want to journal and give it to someone to read and say, I can't bring myself to talk out loud about it right now, but here's a journal, I wrote down all my thoughts. I would love if you were to take a look at this and, give me some advice. And another thing with talking to someone is welcoming advice. Even if you're talking to someone who has never dealt with anxiety before, you're getting somebody that has no bias at all, they could honestly have an idea that, I've never thought of before. Or talking to one of my friends, I learn something new from them all the time. Talking about and forming relationships with someone through anxiety, there's nothing wrong with that. I have a couple people that I talk to that I have met by us going back and forth and sharing our personal stories, and it's awesome to know that there's someone that I can go to and express myself towards. So those were my 10 ways to cope with anxiety. I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and I hope that if any of you guys try these out, that it works in your favor. Thank you guys for watching this video, and again, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave one down below or message me on Instagram, but I am always more than happy to talk to you guys. Look for my next video. I have a bunch of ideas, so I'm gonna be filming those soon. Again, I hope everybody's staying safe throughout this time, and I look forward to talking to you guys again. Cheers, bye!